You can program bots to look like people on social media. And so computational propaganda studies the ways that thousands of bots manipulating real people can be used to game political thought.
We have to pay attention.
I'd like to welcome Sam Woolley from the Institute of the Future. We're here at the AI Summit with our AI interview series. Sam, you're the director of the Digital Intelligence Lab at Institute for the Future.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Sure. Yeah, Institute for the Future is an interesting entity. It's a 50-year-old think tank as of this year. We're not in the business of prediction by any means. We're in the business of foresight. And so what we do is we're based in Palo Alto in the heart of Silicon Valley. And we track signals about technology in order to say what we think is a logical next step. We do a lot of different types of research, everything from hard science to social science to ethnography, and everything kind of in between to inform what we call a foresight insight action model. And we got to do a lot of interesting work and travel all around the world to work with interesting clients, helping them plan for their strategy for the future.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
So I did a little bit of research on you and found the term computational propaganda. Like, tell me, what is that? It sounds juicy.
Yeah. Computational propaganda is the usage of automation, AI, parts of AI, and algorithms to manipulate public opinion. So think back to the 2016 election and what we all know now about Russian interference in the US election. One of the mechanisms that was used over social media to try to manipulate voters and to manipulate the American public were bots. And bots are basically automated programs that function to do a task online. They've existed forever. But you can program bots to look like people on social media. And so computational propaganda studies the ways that thousands of bots manipulating real people can be used to game political thought. In fact, a lot of the bots that are used are quite rudimentary. Their intention, or the intention of the people that build and deploy them for political purposes, isn't actually often to try to convince me or you or anyone else in the crowd that a particular idea is good or real. Or even to spread disinformation a lot of the time, like fake news. It's actually to try to get the Twitter algorithm, the trending algorithm on Twitter, or the newsfeed on Facebook, to pick up a topic as viable. So if bots retweet a hashtag tens of thousands of times, oftentimes that hashtag will show up in the trends list on Twitter.
Right.
And so real people will click on it because it's kind of curated through Twitter or Facebook.
So right now in the Digital Intelligence Lab, is it all computational propaganda, or are there other things that you guys are working on? And what is a thing that you can't wait to tell people about when you're at a cocktail party like this one?
The biggest research project right now is on the 2018 midterms, and we're calling it the human effects of computational propaganda. Okay. And so rather than doing studies that are focused upon what the effect might be on the vote or what the effect might be broadly speaking over social media, like 10,000 bots tweeted during the presidential debate and they were way more in favor of one candidate than the other. Right now what we're doing is working with social groups, and what we're realizing is that it's oftentimes the most marginalized groups that are most affected by these types of problematic strategies. And so we're trying to humanize it a bit, and we're finding some really interesting things, and we're also figuring out some avenues for solutions, for policy fixes, and we're sharing all of these at some events in DC and one in the Valley at the end of October. So yeah,
it's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So as you're talking, I'm thinking, well, how are you distributing your findings, right?
Great question.
And you're likely distributing along the same courses and the same channels that you're studying. Do you guys have a unique distribution strategy to try to get people to pay attention?
In the past, we've partnered up with a media organization so that they write an article, not like a press release, but we'll give them a bunch of the substance and they'll go do their own work. And simultaneously, we'll release our long report while they'll release kind of the TLDR version, for popular consumption, I would say a bit more, rather than policymaker consumption or research consumption. all of our work is public facing. So it's unique in the sense that when we produce these reports, we think of them more as white papers. Our last report was called State-Sponsored Trolling, and it studied the way that governments use automation and AI tools to target their own citizens during elections and security crises. And we co-released that with a report from Bloomberg News. And Bloomberg did a really fantastic spread with like animation and stuff and some maps. And so we'll probably do something similar for this one.